What if the reason you cannot focus today has nothing to do with your phone? Nothing to do with stress? Nothing to do with sleep? What if the real reason your brain feels foggy, slow, and empty, is because you did not walk enough? Not just today, but for the past 5 years. For 99.9% of human history, your ancestors walked between 5 and 9 miles every single day. Not for fitness, not for health goals, just to survive. And your brain, built across 300,000 years of that movement, is still waiting for those miles. Take them away, and something inside your mind begins to quietly shut down. But here is what nobody talks about. The shutdown does not happen all at once. It happens slowly. In ways that feel like personality. Like laziness, getting older. And by the time most people notice, it has already been happening for years. Stay with me. Because what you are about to find out will change the way you think about your own mind forever. You know that feeling. Midday. The fog rolls in. Thoughts feel thick. Decisions feel heavy. You stare at the screen and nothing comes. You call it burnout. You call it distraction. You blame your diet or your sleep or your discipline. But what if none of those explanations are correct? What if something far older is happening? Your body isn't broken. It's just remembering. It is remembering 300,000 years of daily movement. It is reaching back across all of human history and asking, quietly, desperately, for the miles you were promised. And the story of why those miles matter so much is stranger and deeper than you can imagine. Because it starts not with your legs. It starts with fire. Around 2 million years ago, something happened that changed everything. Early humans stood up and started walking across open ground. Not occasionally. Every single day. Miles and miles across vast African landscapes. And this one shift, this simple act of moving upright across the earth, triggered what scientists now call the locomotion revolution. It restructured the human brain in ways we are still discovering today. The hands became free. Tools appeared. Fire was controlled. Language was born. And with every mile walked, the brain grew larger. More complex. More capable of thought, emotion, creativity, and memory. Movement did not support the growing brain. Movement created it. But here is the part that should stop you cold. If walking built the brain, what happens when the walking stops? Researcher Dennis Bramble at the University of Utah found that the physical structure of the human skull itself evolved around long-distance movement. The way your eyes stabilize when your body moves. The way your head balances on your spine. All of it was shaped by millions of years of walking. Your brain was never designed to think while sitting still. It was designed to think while moving. And the proof of what happens when you stop moving is now impossible to ignore. Neuroscientist Wendy Suzuki spent years studying exactly what movement does to the brain. What she found was not just interesting. It was urgent. Every time your body walks, your brain releases a cascade of chemicals. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. These are not simply mood chemicals. They are the raw materials of thought itself. They grow new neurons. They strengthen the connections between existing ones. They keep the memory center of the brain, the hippocampus, alive and growing. Stop moving. And the chemicals stop flowing. The neurons stop growing. The hippocampus begins to shrink. And something that once felt sharp begins to feel dull. Not suddenly, slowly. Like a light dimming so gradually you forget it was ever bright. But what most people never discover is that the collapse goes even deeper than brain chemistry. It reaches into something almost invisible, something that scientists only began to understand in the last decade. And that is where this story gets truly disturbing. Research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that people who walk regularly have measurably larger hippocampi, the brain region responsible for memory, learning, and emotional regulation. People who do not walk show measurable shrinkage in this exact area. Not after decades. After months. Your brain is not waiting patiently for you to start moving again. It is already changing. Right now. While you sit, anthropologist Daniel Lieberman at Harvard has studied the movement patterns of ancient humans for decades. What he found reframes everything we think we know about effort, laziness, and motivation. Ancient humans did not choose to walk 5 to 9 miles a day. They had no choice. The food was always somewhere else. The water was always further away. The safety was always over the next hill. He calls this pattern the Great Migration Walk. And it was not occasional. It was not seasonal. It was every single day. Rain, heat, cold, injury, hunger. The walking never stopped, because truly stopping for days at a time meant death. And so the brain evolved around that certainty. It built itself on the assumption of daily miles. It wired motivation, clarity, and calm directly into the act of movement. Take away the movement, and the brain loses access to its own reset button. But here is what Lieberman discovered that almost nobody talks about. It was not just the distance that mattered. It was something that happened inside the mind during those miles, something ancient, something that the modern world has almost completely erased. Go back as far as your memory allows. Find a time when your mind felt truly free. Maybe you were a child running outside without a reason. Maybe it was a long walk somewhere unfamiliar. Maybe it was a moment in nature when your thoughts came easily and the world felt possible. Hold that memory. Because what you are remembering is not just a feeling. It is biology. It is your brain receiving exactly what it was designed for. Movement. Open space. Miles beneath your feet. That clarity was not accident. That was your ancient mind fully awake. Now think about how your mind feels most days. The numbness. The fog. The sense that something is missing but you cannot name it. The overwhelm that comes from decisions that should be simple. The emptiness after a long day spent completely still. Most people live with these feelings for years. They adjust to them. They medicate them. They explain them away. But they never trace them back to the one thing that was taken away so slowly it felt like normal. The miles. The daily, ancient, non-negotiable miles that your brain has been quietly waiting for, every single day, since the moment you stopped walking. This is the heart of everything, the biological mismatch. Your brain is ancient. Extraordinarily powerful, built across hundreds of thousands of years of daily movement. And you are asking it to perform inside a chair. In a room. Behind a screen. With no miles, no open ground, no movement signal telling it, we are alive, it is safe to think now. The mismatch is not small. It is total. And it explains almost everything about the mental health crisis of the modern world. Rising anxiety, epidemic depression, collapsing attention spans, the creative emptiness that so many people feel but cannot explain. These are not signs of a broken generation. They are signs of an ancient brain running a movement program, and receiving nothing in return. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal at Stanford found that people who walk regularly do not just report better focus and memory. They report something deeper. A sense of meaning. Of being present. Of feeling connected to their own lives in a way that sedentary people consistently describe as missing. Walking does not just fix your brain chemistry. It restores something that has no clean scientific name. Something that feels like coming back to yourself. Like finding something you lost so long ago you forgot you ever had it. Here is what I want you to carry with you. Your brain is not failing. It is not weak. It is not broken beyond repair. It is waiting. Right now, inside you, is a mind capable of the kind of clarity, creativity, and calm that you may not have felt in years. It has not gone anywhere. It is simply waiting for the signal. The oldest signal in human history. Feet on ground. Body in motion. Miles passing beneath you one step at a time. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need the right shoes or the right route or the right time of day. You just need to walk. And when you do, when you finally give your ancient brain what it has been asking for across 300,000 years of human history, something will shift, something will wake, something will remember exactly, and completely, what it was built to do.